January 7th, 2022. I made a video the other day and I said 2021. I don't know why. But today, it rained a little bit last night. And yeah, obviously my totem logs, I uncovered these this morning. Here is a new style of log that I just invented all by myself. Sometimes I do crazy weird stuff just to do it for no reason, and this is one of those times. I took this log which isn't going to totem. I thought to myself, when logs fall in the forest, they don't always stand themselves on end. And the other thing, the way the water drains off of this, it drains off, it drains out, it's not a natural kind of environment. So I took this flat piece of wood that was cut off of a notch here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm flailing around with the camera. Oh yeah, today's video is new. It's a little different. See if you can figure out what's going on with it. Not only do I have this new magic style of log. Ooh, I almost said magic mushroom. Shouldn't say that. This is a blue oyster spawn in here, I guess I would say. And what I did different was, instead of a totem log stacked with all the, concentric rings there, or the stacked rings, I took and I cut a V out of this. So this piece, kind of fits in there like a pie piece. And then I drilled a bunch of holes in there and I put all my spawn down in there. There's a little piece of grain right there, actually, I think. And then I smashed that down in there. It's got a little sawdust in there. And then I had the great idea, go around and put some moss on there to help, kind of seal it a little bit. Kind of like a log cabin. They put moss between the logs. And that's going to hopefully hold a little moisture in there and kind of regulate the flow of the water. And when it gets rain, it's going to, kind of flow off of the log, not just with a totem log. It just kind of hits the top, and some of it, if it gets wet enough, it'll trickle and run down the sides and seep through the bark. If the bark's really dry and it starts raining, it kind of splatters off and just rolls away. But with a laying down log, I think it's going to, have a little different dynamic. And and I noticed today that my chicken of the woods logs, I have a plugged log over there, and it's actually got some white stuff growing under the wax. I can see it in there, so that's pretty cool. These are my lion's mane, giant lion's mane logs. Here, check this out. See that? Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. See that moss? I should hold still a little bit. I'm kind of leaning over here. Little jiggly. I have to, oops, get a little angle. Let me hold it there. Whoa. Now, excuse the lighting, just kind of working. There we go. That's going to be pretty when that fills in. I got a couple, well, I don't know what kind of moss this is. Maybe a moss expert out there knows what kind of moss this is. Whoa, quit shaking around. There we go, that's a little better. But I think some of this was on some dead wood. And here's some of the moss I got, and here's another. This is a little more, oops, watch that leaf there, a little more of a rotted log. Well, they're both rotted logs. I don't know, I guess I don't know if they're the same kind of moss though, but this one's like went to flower or whatever. It had all these little tiny blossom things on there. So I've grown moss inside of jugs before, like a terrarium, and I tell you what, it makes its own little forest, its own little world in there. I mean, it is the wildest looking thing if you've ever done that. And I just had it inside like a gallon iced tea dispenser that you have in your refrigerator, and I laid it down and just stuck it in a, under a bush, and all that moss grew inside there, and it was like a little rainforest all by itself, and it came up the sides of the jar, and man, it was really cool. I should do that again. And moss is easy to grow, and it looks really nice. And if you have like a bonsai or some kind of little plant that you like, and you put some moss around it, it just really kind of accents it and makes it look really cool, I think. So I mean, yeah, just having that green on there, it looks really nice. And it's just another part of the natural ecosystem anyways. You see the mushrooms in it. Let's yank one of these apart and see what's going on, by the way. Okay, now this is, I believe, the first log I did, and that's all blue. And this one is white, or yeah, the regular. There's one right there, actually. Oyster mushroom. I don't know what color they call them. They get lighter color. They start out kind of dark, but that's a piece of the block that this is spawned with. And then the very top layer is blue oyster. Kind of did a little mix on that. But this one fell over a few days, so I already know this top is, well, it was. We might have got wrecked. And you can see there's some not so savory looking stuff growing in there. That might not be the best, and it's dried out a little bit. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's moist in the middle, but I got this dry ring around there. Oops, I didn't. And they got some yellow stuff growing in there, some green. So this might not be a good mix. And I got a little bit of sawdust, and I got quite a bit of sawdust in there. I had at least 50% spawn though, so I'm not sure. Now, I'm not going to pull it all apart. Now let's pull one more layer off. This is where I should use a tripod. Oh, I got a tripod. Whoa, look at me. All fancy like. Alright, let's just take that off. We know that's kind of ugly under there. Now, ooh, that was a little stuck. Ooh, it's all green. And I know there's some white in there. That might take over. Let me see if I can throw a little water in here. A little natural hydration. Alright. Yeah, that looks a little dry, and even though I've had these covered, it's... Alright, let's yank one more and take a look. Yeah, that's got a lot more white in there. Still a lot of green. I don't think that's good. I may need to figure out a different procedure, or I'm thinking about trying to not sterilize the log. I've actually seen somebody do that. They boiled the log. But like they do with straw, you can prep your straw with pickling lime. And I'm thinking if I took pickling lime, or some kind of lime, maybe even just garden lime, and what are you looking for over there? Trying to knock over some logs. If I could treat these with lime the way you do the straw, and kill some of that bad stuff, and then put the spawn on them. So I don't know, thinking about that. But it just goes to show, the first time you do something, even though you kind of follow directions a little bit, it doesn't mean it's going to work. It can, yeah, it can not work quite a few times, but that's how you figure out what doesn't work, and then you persist and stay at it. And or it may just be that particular strain isn't really strong enough to work in my environment, and I'll try it a few more times. Ooh, that one stuck really good. This is pink oyster over here. Now if this is working, I don't want to mess with it. I got a bunch of stacks on there. Let me get the tripod again. All right. Ooh, yeah, that stuck pretty good. And I got moss in here too, so that might want to, it's only been in there a day or two. That might, ooh, wow, that thing is fused. Holy smokes. I bet I could pick half of this thing up. Wow, that is really stuck good. I am surprised. Maybe I don't even want to take this apart. Now I got to look at it. Oh, oh yeah, it's all white in there. Oh man, oh, there's a couple bugs in there. Wow, it's all white though. That looks really good. Did you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. Whoa, that is definitely spawn growing. That's what I want right there. And there's a bit of moisture in there too. It looks pretty moist compared to the rest of those. Oh, wow, that is so cool. All right, let's cover that back up. It's a little breezy today. We got a cold front coming. It sprinkled last night, but I didn't have anything uncovered. So I sprayed a little bit of water on a couple of these today. Ooh, I like these buttons a lot better too. So, yeah, I said there was something different about today's video. Can you imagine what it is? Have you guessed? When I say things with the S, like sweep or swamp or shift, does it sound like I have a lisp? I don't think I have a lisp when you talk to me, but when my videos play back, I'm like, wow, do I really whistle like that when I talk? But the difference in today's video is I have a new phone, a new camera, Carl Zeiss, or Zeiss, and this thing focuses really well, even if you use the zoom, or if you get closer. Still not, there it goes. Still maybe not quite as perfect as some of the cameras I've seen, but the clarity and, yeah, look at that. It just focuses right in, grabs it really quick. Nice color, looks nice. I got to review this on the computer after I upload this to see how it actually looks, but it seems like it's a really nice clear video. And again, the focus on it is, I couldn't understand why the focus was so bad on my other camera, my other phone. LG, by the way, if you have or had, you now had an LG phone. LG does not make phones anymore. So what happened is the system just eats itself up. The system implodes, and either your memory gets so eroded from use and reuse and holding the charge on the little cells in there or whatever, it just kind of wears out, eats up little sectors of your storage in the camera, the internal storage. My external storage stays fine. I can take that same card out of there that's been in there for the same 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, and put that in the new phone, and it works perfectly, flawless. I did lose a few of my contacts though, so I got to go back through my old phone, dig every contact out that I want to keep current, and put it in the new phone. It only kept about maybe 3/4 of my actual stuff, and of course everything that it saved isn't the main stuff that I, like the main people that I text all the time. Those are the ones that got lost. My sister, my family, my girlfriend. I think, why are these the ones that it lost? But anyways, this is the Carl Zeiss camera on a Nokia X100 phone, the newest of the new with my carrier. And they really bragged it up, said, oh, you're gonna like this, the camera's so nice, and all of this. I gotta get rid of all these weeds down here. And it does seem pretty nice and clear and focusing good. And I'm wondering about that S. When I say S's, what does that sound like? Because it sounded like I have a lisp, and I don't think I do. Maybe I do. What do you think? Do I have a lisp? Yeah, it hasn't been very much moisture, not much precipitation, very, not arid, but windy, and we got cold fronts coming in. Like I said, we got a little sprinkle last night, but not even probably a 1/4 inch. Wow, look at those weeds coming in there. Holy. Oh my goodness, we gotta get rid of those. But, oh, my moringa trees. Let's go look at moringa trees. Oh, yeah, there's some contrast for you. Look at my moringa trees. Oh, wow, they're all coming up finally. Some of them took a long time to break out after they you know, had germinated. There's my germination bucket. 3 more in there. I got a tube. But I put these in tubes because they say these got to have a long tap root. It's good to let the tap root go really long and straight. You got a bamboo leaf block in the bottom there. I recycle and do it naturally. There's another one down in that little bag in there. But yeah, even at this young age, these things are tasty. They're like a little microgreen. You can get some dirt off my hands, and you can just pluck a little piece of that off of there. It's very tasty. It's kind of like a tough spinach. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's firmer. I mean, it chews pretty easily, and it tastes pretty good. Tastes pretty good. I mean, it's a little herby, but yeah, I had to go wrangle my dog back. There's my other dog over there, stumbling around. What are you looking for? He's good. He stays out of trouble. Not like my other dog. But yeah, the Moringa. It's not bad. I can't wait for it to get big where I can saw off a hunk of it and stew up some of it like spinach. Yeah, it's like a little microgreen. It's supposed to be like one of the healthiest plant matters you can eat. You can practically live on it. Oh, got a stray one down there. Yeah, so how do you like that camera? A Nokia X100 with a Carl Zeiss camera. A little hard to, I can't quite see. Oh, there it goes. I gotta figure out the controls on here. It might not be so bad. Where they are. The record and pause button are a lot better. The pause button being larger and up a little ways from the stop and start button is easier to not hit the stop button all the time and end your video. You hit that pause button. Ooh, let's see how it does with color. Look at that color. What color is that? That is Trinidad chocolate scorpion pepper. Now this plant is one of my new ones from February of 2021, and it got all chewed up by the ants, but I put a whole bunch of pruning sealer on there. In fact, I used just about all my pruning sealer on that. Ooh, yeah, look at those nice sharp. This thing does really focus nice. Oh, look at that hole in, uh-oh, come on. Look at that hole. It focuses pretty quick, but yep, there's a hole right there. That's the ants getting in there. And then they tunnel down there as far as they can, try to eat all the way through the plant. Now, oh, there's a broken off branch with a pepper on that. Surviving. Got a few more peppers over here. These ones are kind of young, just starting to turn color. It looks a little dry for some reason, but yeah, nice little tail. When you got peppers that are really wrinkly and got little spikes and points on the end, that's probably a pretty hot pepper. I have one pepper plant that I started 2021 that isn't all chewed up by ants. Oh wait, maybe two. This might be the other one. That might be the other one. But everything, this here, this is my, well, oh wow, this is going on 6 years old now. This is the 6th year for this plant. Huge, got a bunch of peppers on there now. I should probably pick all of these off of here. Yeah, there's tons of them on there. Look at that. Focus, focus. Come on, you can focus. It does focus pretty good. But yeah, I could pull all these off of here. These are wicked hot. This old, stressed plant. Still pumping out peppers though. And it's really ugly. This one is all chewed up by ants too. Lots of ants, lots of pruning sealer on there, but it dies back, gets the holes. I've even chopped it way back, and it'll sprout. Maybe I should just chop that thing all the way back. You know, saw it off down here and see if it can sprout some new branches. And kind of hard to get a plant that tall. It's like 5 foot, well, almost 4 foot tall, with the, not counting the pot. Yeah, there's a lot of holes in there. All right, well, that's my review and video of the Carl Zeiss Nokia X100 camera. Seems pretty nice. I like it. Controls, I gotta learn how to... The zoom is kind of slow. Unless you grab the screen, it's a little faster, but yeah, it's a little fumbly, not too bad. Buttons are recessed with this case that I got on it, so it's kind of hard to hit the wrong buttons, like grab a button on the side and accidentally press it, stopping your video. That was the main problem with my other camera. The pause button was small and right next to the stop button, so I was always hitting the stop button, and that obviously, we got a 21-minute video. This is horrible. Bye. Cut.